Welcome everyone to Politically High Tech with your host Elias. In this somewhat political episode, this is gonna be political diet, I guess. Because does every single thing needs to be politically difficult or deep? No. And if you want something politically deep, well, you're gonna have to wait for next week. Okay. Sometimes we gotta take a chill because this political year is gonna be very chaotic. Okay, so let's try to chill for a bit. While the Iowa people are getting ready for their crazy caucuses, and trust me, it's very different from the primary. They don't go to the damn machine and vote. What they do is they have their little party. I mean by party, yeah, sometimes like a little get together, and you get to hear all the candidates, and then they vote in a blank white paper. Yeah, during below 0 degrees temperatures. I'm not exaggerating. Check the forecast. Check the forecast. Some cities is below 6. Some is even below 12 in Fahrenheit. I'm American. We use Fahrenheit, not Celsius. You can do that conversion thing because I'm too lazy to do that. I think it's Fahrenheit minus, I think 2.2 times that, whatever. I don't feel like being smart. You be smart. That's the engagement. You do that calculation right now. Especially if you're from India, a European country. I know you guys use Celsius. So this is below 6 to 12 degrees, okay? That's going to be happening during the caucus. That's the event. My butt, just to psych y'all, I might not touch that. I can't promise you that. Okay, before I hijack my own podcast, I have a guest here, okay? And he is a podcaster just like me. He talks about various issues, political, social, cultural. I mean, there's a lot of hot topics with these. Some are very interesting, some are very entertaining. A lot of it is downright depressing. This is why I invite the spiritual people sometimes, so that we could be sane. Because trust me, if you could go insane, cause mass shootings. I mean, they're happening right now. Why do you think mass shootings are up? It's a mental health crisis. People more lonely than ever. People more tribal than ever. I mean, before I just go down that route, let me introduce him. And this is what he calls himself, by the way. I did not call him that. I don't throw nicknames until I know somebody really well. His podcast is called The Objective Jerk. Blake, The Objective Jerk. I'm just gonna say that for simplicity's sake. Welcome. Tell us what you want the listeners to know about you.
Hey, Elias, thank you. Happy to be here. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, the objective jerk. You asked that earlier, but when I was doing the podcast, I didn't want to just make anything. I was kind of thinking, okay, if this was to become the next Joe Rogan, which that's not going to happen, but how I was picturing like what I wanted for like logos and this and that and whatever. And I just consider myself to be objective with most topics and kind of a jerk. So I thought it flowed. So I was like, yeah, that sounds good. So that's basically how that came about.
Okay, so besides just floating, yeah, you say you're objective. Sometimes you can sound like a jerk to us, especially those who are very emotional. They don't like their whole paradigm being disruptive. I mean, I could do left for right, right to left. Depends what direction you want to go with that. I was like, oh, he's so mean because he didn't use politically correct terms. I said, first of all, in my honest opinion, we got much bigger shit going on in this country. Let's worry about idiotic terminology.
Yeah, instead of making up problems, it's like let's deal with the problems that we have and not make up insignificant issues. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just to talk globally real quick, the Russia-Ukraine war is intensifying, and I think Russia is tired of holding back. I should have said my first opinion that Russia was going to win. I mean, it's kind of obvious.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised Ukrainians fought this much. I blame more the leader than anything. I looked up that guy's history. I said, "Holy shit, they got an actor. Oh, this is gonna be horrendous." Especially if he decides to do one stupid move, and of course he did that move. Should Russia invade Ukraine? Obviously not. I'm not supportive of Russia. But come on, Russia's history. Well, I looked into Ukrainian history. I was like, yeah, I don't know. Russia just got much bigger guns and much stronger military alliance. I mean, come on. Even Belarus is helping them out too. I mean, right there. And they already took lands of Ukraine, but I'm not gonna go there. And I do like facts, even if the facts are disturbing. I'd rather know the harsh truth than the false fantasy. Okay.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna pick one of my lesser of the two evils, I will pick the harsher truth than the false paradise. False paradise is even much more mean because you're being deceived until that bubble bursts. It might be too little too late once that is completed. So I'd rather deal with the harsh reality. These harsh reality, it tells you better start doing A, B, C, and D if you're gonna be ready for the next step.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've always thought of like the liberal idea that, it's the world is not a cartoon and we don't, it's not candy cane, shoots and ladders. Like there are evil people. There are always going to be evil people. So it's like to sit there and like, yes, if we did certain things or various laws or whatever, if everybody could follow it, every single individual, and we could all live in a happy, whatever, then okay, yeah, I guess that could work. But it's just not feasible. It's not possible. So to have that, the fake, like what you said, I forget how you said it, but just the harsh reality is just that it's reality. You know what I mean? And hoping or wishing that we could all just, live in a sitcom is just, it's not going to work. It's not feasible.
I mean, if you take so much drugs, you're gonna eventually run out. You go get back and gonna get back to that reality.
Yep.
Trust me, this is coming from someone who experimented with a few of those. Okay,
Hey,
so
I did my share when I was younger.
so, but to be honest, people, you're gonna have to grow up at some point. Some take the express route, some go through the local scenic route. But eventually, you're gonna have to hit that destination, or you could get locked up.
Yeah, and then learn it through that route.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do you want us to go there, listeners? I'm just give you one clue about how graphic this could go. The whole drop the soap thing. Yeah, about that. Everyone wants to go there. I certainly can. Sad is one of the few things I'm surprised I haven't talked about. And I talked about a couple of morbid stuff in this podcast, and trust me, this podcast is not afraid to hit controversial turf. I have interviewed very left wing people. I even interviewed a couple of pro Trumpers. I believe in having representation of political spectrum. And if that means for me to get in trouble and get canceled, well, guess what? I have enough backup at plan B and C for platforms. That's why Rumble exists. That's why Storyfire exists. Okay, even though Storyfire got to get their act together on something.
Exactly. Diversify.
Yep, diversify. I can't just be loyal to YouTube
Yeah.
because YouTube is funny. Let's just put it that way. They are funny with their restrictions.
Yeah. Well, for me, my podcast is just starting. So, but I get most of my views on Rumble. I mean, people aren't probably really watching me necessarily, just listening to it, but YouTube is like I might get a few here and there and stuff like that, but it's like I quit posting anything for a while just because it's like what's the point? But then I was like, well it's the grind, whatever. Just keep doing it. But yeah, so Rumble's where I get most of my interaction with anything, more so than because I use Buzzsprout for my platform for my podcast and stuff. So even more so than that.
You see, even as an experienced person, yeah, I'm definitely gonna jump to the Buzzsprout train. And yes, I'm calling you out, Acast. I'm done with your ass. Your analytics is very overrated in my opinion. It's very shallow, and Spotify's analytics even better than yours, and they don't even brag about it. So, you might be called not might, you will be called Ass Cast starting next season. Such why I did you. Just a FYI. Just a little FYI. Yep, this is not the first company I've called out publicly. I've called out Streamlabs for their bullshit, what they have done to me. Especially I'll talk to a couple of business people. Yeah, about customer service. Suck at it. Suck at it. They suck at it. And you know my story. I'm not going to repeat that because I don't want to be too repetitive. But I will call out a business because as a customer, I believe 9 out of 10 times I am right. And you better prove it otherwise because I don't easily give up, especially when I have a strong case. That's why I pick my battles carefully. Okay. I just don't start shit. If I was a younger person, well, that was one of my few issues. I used to start more problems than I could handle. And let's just say it didn't end up very well. I mean, one embarrassing story I say I got beat up by a midget when I was 9 years old. That taught me a lesson that height didn't matter all that much. So there you go. And what's the lesson? Don't pop off unless you could back it up. In other words, don't start something that you can't finish.
Yeah, and have receipts, I think.
Yeah, and that for sure. So,
Yeah.
what do you want in the listeners or even viewers to know about you in general?
Um, I guess just so they can get an idea of what.
Yeah.
I let's see. So I, so, well, okay. I'll just do like a quick little. I grew up like in Washington State primarily, liberal kind of household. I was a kid in the '80s and a teenager in the '90s, so I was right there during the big grunge boom or whatever. So of course I was all into that. But I've had, I had my uncle and various grandfathers that were in the military and stuff like that. So it was always kind of there in the back of my head. And then when 9/11 happened, it just kind of felt like, maybe I should. I was still trying to figure out, what I wanted to do and who I was, I guess. But that kind of helped. I mean, yeah, I still don't even know what I want to do, and I'm basically done now. But so yeah, I spent some 5 years in the army, 2 years in Iraq, and then just worked for the army as a civilian, and then now I'm in the Philippines, living in the Philippines with my wife and my kids. Basically retired, so can't complain, enjoying life as much as I can, or I try to. It doesn't always happen, but and then so that's kind of where the whole podcasting thing started. Just find something to kind of interact with people other than Filipinos.
Yeah, that, I mean, makes sense to me. People before you get judgmental and just drink the emotional Kool-Aid. I love saying that because people just get into that emotional Kool-Aid and become very, 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 very irrational and sometimes dumb. Let's just be clear. Everybody's trying to figure out life. I'm trying to figure mine's out. And it's one of the few times I'm going to age myself. Yeah, I was definitely a kid in the 90s. And yeah, I was aware of the whole World Trade Center thing. Oof, that middle school day sucked. Even though I couldn't imagine the people, what the horrors they were going through with the whole 9/11 and all that. It was very horrendous. That why I still remember to this day where I was at. Not a good time. Not a good time at all.
Where about in New York are you at, or where were you at during 9/11?
Oh, I wasn't upstate. I was at the New Rochelle area at that time.
Okay,
That happened.
did it and it still? I mean, did it affect the way of life still, or
Well, I mean, of course, for a few days it affected really, really bad. I mean, eventually got to oh, but the smoke did travel through the Bronx. It even hit certain parts of upstate. I mean, that smoke from the devastation of the tower. I mean, it traveled that far. Not
hmm.
being, yeah, I'm really not being dramatic when I say that. I eventually saw I saw how far that smoke traveled. I was like, yikes. It dissipated after a while, but oof,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of crazy how being in Utah or in, like I said, Washington, whether it's like wildfires in California or some wildfires like on Eastern Washington, me living on the other side of the state, it was like just, it was thick. It was almost like fog, but it was smoke, and it was just kind of crazy. It's like, man, how is this, affecting us way over here? But yeah, it's crazy how much that stuff travels. Makes you kind of think like when you see those animations of like an asteroid hitting Earth and it shows the explosion, but then it just shows the ash and everything just slowly, it's like I believe it.
It was definitely rough. Yeah, definitely a 2000s teenager. Yeah, major myself a bit here. You guys are gonna have to do the math because I'm not revealing my exact age yet. You're gonna have to take a guessing game on that. I already gave you some hints and clues, listeners. This is not exactly a passive kind of podcast. Use your own God-given brain cells. Okay, if you figure it out, great. Dox me later. Oh, I think I'm tempted a little too much there. Just kidding, just kidding. If you can't tell us a joke, just kidding. All right.
Can't tell
Anyway,
jokes. Jokes are illegal now.
oh well, they're gonna have to start arresting me. Shit. I
Yeah.
already committed so many felonies with that one. Proud of it too. Oh, yep. Welcome to what one right wing host said. I absolutely agree with him. United Soviet States of America, USS. Yep, we are getting there. People, you don't believe that, then God help you. You lose your job for having a certain opinion, certain post. Yeah.
Yeah, or political affiliation or refusing to get the vaccination or something. It's like, what is going on?
Yep.
That's kind of like what lately, like with them removing Trump from the ballot. It's like, I can understand why people didn't like Trump. I didn't, I was at first I was like, what? The dude from the Apprentice or whatever, you know what I mean? I was like everyone else. But then, after his 4 years, you gotta it's like, dude, he was doing something right, right? But regardless of any of that, them removing him from the ballot is like, do you not want what the people, the majority vote for? Like, don't you want it to be ethical? Don't you want it to be, what people actually want and not what people are telling you to do? You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, whether you don't like them or not, you shouldn't want it the voting to be, illegal or wrong or forced upon or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Whether it falls on your side or not, you want it to be done right and morally. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get that how they're like, oh, yeah, take them off the ballot. And I'm like, really? How? I don't know. It makes them look,
Not just Democrats, that's a misconception. It's not just Democrats. Even some moderate
yeah.
even behind that movement. So there is a bipartisanship right there. I was just Dems. I said no, 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 no more. Right, that's a right wing talking point. Some of them in your own party, you better watch out for because
No,
they're
you're right. Yeah, it's like,
some of them are cooperating with the Democrats on certain issues. So
a
I
lot of them are. Yeah, yeah.
actually
No,
a lot of
the Republicans are failing miserably too. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yep. I'm just gonna give you the super short version of my political transition. I started off as a very moderate, liberal, blue dog Democrat. So I already had certain conservative things lingering on me, like personal responsibility, fiscal responsibility. Even though I was a moderate Democrat at the time, I even got to arguments with some people further left than me. So, excuse me, you can't just spend money on every single problem and just keep throwing and throwing, expecting miracles to happen. You got to have a plan,
Hmm.
an intelligent plan. It has to be executed very well. Oh, but no, so, we need this. So look, I agree on certain healthcare reforms and certain things needs to be cut. Oh, the one that should be cut entirely is spreading the woke stuff abroad. Yeah, our tax laws going to woke stuff abroad. We shouldn't be spending money, especially sending things abroad. And this is why you're getting some countries very angry with us. Some African nations just saying, "Oh, we don't need your damn money. We're not going to be gay to get your money."
Yeah.
We say that. I was like, yeah, no. Our one of our old principles used to be self determination, national determination. Let them be. No country should be like America or Great Britain or Philippines or each country has its own identity and let it be there. Unless the identity is very destructive and cause harm, that's the only exception. I say, no, I'm not. But for the most part, let it be. There's geography, there's people, there's history that shapes the culture of these nations. You can't just be shoving woke stuff all over the globe. Some places are more receptive to it than others. Obviously, most Asian nations, African nations, and good chunk of Eastern Europe, I should say, Western Europe, they absorb that. But the eastern side of Europe, they're for the most part, they're not with that stuff. So instead of just shoving agendas down people's throats, let them do what they need to do. That's my thing, and it's utterly ridiculous. I could go on a long tangent about that. But my thing is that's a waste of our anyone who still lives in America is still a U.S. citizen. That's a waste of taxpayer dollars just indoctrinating people. Schools are there to educate. God forgive me, but we already have enough idiots in America. We don't need more. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
we we,
Yeah.
we have enough. more than enough idiots in America. And I'm not saying I'm the brightest where I'm not, but geez, Louise, just we got to get back to sense. Got to get our priorities straight. You know, that's my gripe. But yeah, what political trends have caught your attention in general? Just
Well, I mean, kind of like you, I kind of, like I said, I grew up in kind of a liberal aesthetic, I guess. Not like, crazy or nothing. Basically, we just weren't very political. I remember Clinton, being in the news and things like that and stuff like that, but I didn't really, because I was younger, and I mean, that's kind of how it was, when you're younger, you just didn't care. And then I honestly, the first time I voted was when Trump in 2016. Just because, being in the army and stuff, I'd be moved around. I'd have to do the absentee ballot and stuff like that. And so I was just lazy with it, so I never did. I know. I think if I didn't have to register and all that kind of stuff, probably Obama, his first one, I probably would have voted for him. But by the second time, no, I wouldn't have. And then just because I was kind of starting to see some things, it's just slowly kind of growing. You kind of notice some stuff. But what really kind of pushed me over the edge, because I was always really laid back. I didn't one way or the other. Hey, just kind of like how a lot of people are. They didn't pay attention, so they're happy in their own little bubble. I was the same way. And then so Trump ran, right, and I registered to vote. I was living in Washington, so my vote didn't really matter. It was going blue anyway. But I remember sitting in the kitchen filling out my ballot because I did a mail in, and I was just like, gosh, I'm not voting for Hillary because she's a psycho. But I was like, gosh, do I want to vote for Trump though? I was kind of battling internally with that. And what's funny, and I was thinking about writing, Mickey Mouse or whatever people do. They write in, somebody, and then my wife, who's Filipino, she was an immigrant. She had a green card when I met her and everything. She was legal and everything, but she was an alien, I guess you would say, but she was legal. She didn't come over illegally. And for her, that pissed her off having illegal immigrants come over and run amok and get all the, she had to bust her ass to get over there to the States. So I remember being in the kitchen and I was like, I don't know if I should. And she was like, you better vote for Trump. You know what I mean? And so I voted for Trump. And then I remember my family, my dad, he's kind of in the middle too, but after Bush, like he was very kind of anti-Republican, maybe. He wasn't really liberal, but I don't know, he didn't like Bush. And he was like, "What? You voted for Trump? Well, aren't you worried? Like, what about Christine? Are they going to make her leave?" And it's like, "What? Make her leave?" I'm like, first of all, she's legal. She came over here legally, got all her stuff. And then second, she's married to me now. So that's, he's not just going to get rid of people that aren't white. You know what I mean? It's like, and I remember thinking, like, how do you really? Like, that's what you're thinking, like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So are you going to say something?
yeah, I was gonna say something. That's the
Okay.
mainstream media's propaganda. See, that's what got to a lot of people's heads.
Yes.
That's the only thing I'm just gonna add. I'm not gonna judge from anybody. Me, I personally was just, oh Lord, we got a reality TV show star and we got a psycho woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna. I was just thinking about what writing option I got. I was like, who do I want to vote for? Ron Paul. The Republicans would have got me fast if they would have put Ron Paul as a nominee, but no, they picked Mitt Romney, who was a schmuck and a corporate asshole. So
Mm-hmm.
that made me went to Obama. I voted for Obama twice
Okay.
because yeah, I voted for Obama twice. So you know what? At least I know you, Obama. Even though there's some things like you did, but there's certain things I can't stand. But Mitt
Yeah.
Romney he was trash, and
Yeah. Yeah.
he was just trash. I said no. If you would have had Ron Paul, you could have easily got this moderate Democrat to switch red. But nope, you didn't get because Ron Paul was the most sensible one out of all of them, and he was doing so good. They kind of screwed him over the RNC. So and it was doing that from the beginning. And I was this is why I was really starting to pay attention to politics more actively. So this
Mm.
shady shit. Got it. This is me in my I was like, yep, this is me in my early 20s, starting to pay attention. I first was able to vote when Obama ran. Yeah, I couldn't vote for obviously Clinton. I was a kid at that time. That's when I first actually started paying attention when it came to Clinton and all that, the sex scandals and
Mm-hmm.
impeachment and some of the stuff he was doing. To be honest, if I was able to vote, he actually would have gotten my vote. 2016. Yeah, that one was just so difficult. I just closed my eyes, marked in one of the bubble. I just threw it right in there. For the best
Just like
because I listen. I mean, going back, I think I would have landed on Trump. I was like, yeah, that's okay. But I didn't even know what to vote for. So hackers hack into my thing. You see what I vote for because even though I was just so I was confident voting for everything else. I was voting more red in general that year, but the president was one like even somehow Hillary gets it. She's not going to impact me as much. But locally, I'm already getting screwed. So I was more active. Red, libertarian. Okay, you three Democrats stay because you do what you say and you actually impact me positively. There's only three
yeah.
Democrats I kept. The rest of them was R, and then whatever was just D. I said, what's the point? The Democrat got it. It's just what different flavor of Democrat you want. You want the progressive, you want the pretty socialist one, you want the moderate one. Those are the only choices you got in New York State for the most part, especially New York City. Ooh, yes, sir. It's just a moderate Democrat, progressive Democrat. That those are really your choices. And most New Yorkers can relate on that. Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah.
It was tough. Yeah,
Normally
I would.
normally I'm very decisive. It was weird for me to deal with that because normally I would have been had my mind made up. I did my effect. I did my pros and cons. I want to view things thoroughly. And one has to think about a lot of voters. They only think about one issue that cares. It could be
Yeah.
abortion,
Yep. Yep.
migration, economy. Some
Yeah.
voters just vote on that one thing or that one headline, even, which is even worse.
Yeah.
Maybe one, I can say if you're just one single issue voter, okay, fine. At least have a good methodology. I get along with conservatives and liberals. I don't say y'all evil. I just debate y'all policies and all that. Sometimes what you think, but yeah, I've definitely voted for independent candidates more. I vote for certain D's, like I said. If you hack into my thing, I'm pretty purple. That's why my podcast logo is mostly purple because that's what it summarizes. It's not my most favorite color. It'll be red, but the other thing, I'm a conservative, and that's very misleading. So I do have certain conservative values, like churches, for example, the discrimination against Christians. I'm with the Republicans, 100% on that one. That's real. The
Yeah, me
courts
too.
and societies do try to shut them down. I'm happy that they got sources for those folks. Yeah. You atheist fools. Yes. Bash me all you want. Just know that you have a soul and spirit, and we are more than our bodies. We are more than this earth. Look, whether you believe it or not, it's really your choice. But don't come bashing God in front of me because that's when I'm going to start get a little deso. And don't catch me in a bad mood because I will just say certain things that you will regret hearing more than me, quite frankly, because I know I'm coming from a good place, even though the execution is going to be raw and rough. And then you could probably call me the next subjective jerk on that front. So there you go. I'm taking
Nice.
name.
Nice.
I'm taking the name. I'm taking the name. No. You keep that name. But I know certain things I'm very passionate about when it comes to what's a hot topic. Abortion, I'm right at the center. I'm very, very center of that issue.
Yeah, no, I am too.
I believe contraceptives should be that. I mean, the way the Republicans banned it was very ridiculous. I was very critical. But I said, whoa. So you're gonna allow even rape and incest and non-viable pregnancies to go through? Now, I gotta understand if the girl was very responsible, get knocked up and whatever, she should carry that baby. Which don't get me wrong, some of them try to go abortion because they want to accept responsibility. Certain of them, not a lot of them, but they exist. Of course, the pro-choice people gonna get on my throat. I didn't say ban abortion. That's something that the Republicans got very extreme on, and they're losing, and even certain red states have to concede on that. So yeah, I'll say be in the center at least. I mean, I'm definitely against late-term abortion. I said no. When you
Yeah.
wait for trimester, no, you should carry that shit through.
Yeah, late term abortion or using an abortion as a contraceptive itself. When you see like pictures of the lady, like, I've had 21 abortions, it's like, really? It's like, come on, you have a mental problem. So
No, that I
yeah,
yeah, I'm not for I'm not for that. I said, whoa, yeah, about yeah, yeah, and my thing is just make sure families figure it out. If the man is present, he should just at least speak his opinion, and then yeah, the family should figure that out and save the girls alone. Well, she's the only sole decision maker. That's why, guys, you got to be involved. You got to be
yeah,
involved, and are there single dads out there? Yeah, but there's more single moms. I mean, just check the stats. Do I like them
yeah.
personally? No, but this is the reality. And the reality could get you steering in the right direction as opposed to just living in fantasy land. Oh, men good, women bad. Nope, not saying that at all. Not saying that at all. If you want to think that, there's something wrong with you.
Well, yeah, and but then it's like all women good, all men bad, which is that's wrong too. It's like you can't.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
either way is sexist. Either way.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's crazy.
You know,
Crap, man. You
I
brought up a couple things that I was like, okay, I'm gonna say something about that.
yeah, no, I know it. No, I wasn't worried about that. You was concerned about that. You seem concerned about it. At least me, I was like, no, I already have like at least 10 topics on top of my head without even
Oh,
thinking
okay.
preparing for it. And I did listen to a couple of your videos, so I already had some ideas how to trigger a conversation, and some will hit, some will be a hit, some will be a miss. It's part of learning. I don't believe in perfection. I just believe in becoming great, become better than what you were yesterday. That's
Yeah, as long as you realize that you're not perfect, you don't know everything, and you're willing to learn and possibly accept your mistake, and then everything else is gravy.
just turn your mistake to a lesson. Don't make it a life sentence.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, just because I say years, just because I say years funny, you're gonna kill yourself over just saying years funny. Everyone's gonna say certain words funny. Like me, I hate words that start with a J, like judicial. Sometimes I can't even say judicial right. Let's see, I'm struggling right now. You see evidence, evidence, evidence right here, baby.
Oh, that's why you don't like my podcast, The Objective Jerk, because it's got that J.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you see, you figured it out. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah,
Yeah.
the J is triggering. Yeah, the agonal jerk is easy. If it's like it's normally with a J U for some reason. It's J U, except for juice. Juice is easy. Judicial.
Maybe because like one syllable. I don't know. Like I have problems saying certain things. I can't think of what they are right now. But I mean, there are times where I'm like, I can't even say
Oh no, that's fine. You just put a facade right now.
it.
Just it'll pop up one way or another. Yeah, like certain things like that. Yeah, but all right. You see, I like to have fun, joke a bit. That's my style. Turning smart and entertain because I don't want. Sometimes I can be too smart. Sometimes I can be too comedic, too clownish to the point that it's not maintaining a balance, and that could damage. Not could. It has damaged the brand of this podcast. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. For your feedback. You could go keep raising your electronic pitchforks all you want. All you're gonna do is tire your computer, and your computer's gonna die, not mine. So, just like your anger poisons your liver, not my liver. Okay. This is why it's good not to be enslaved by your emotions. See, there's a lesson behind that.
That's big right now. It's just people, yeah, I mean, and that's why the Constitution and the laws that we have are made for, especially the judicial. See, hey, there we go. The judicial system is a slow process because they don't want people just, oh my God, kill him now. Okay, you know what I mean? It's like there's a process so you don't make rash decisions off emotion. There's a reason for so many things, and yeah, and like emotion is great for a lot of things, but not when you're making decisions for a country or for, I don't know, you know what I mean, that affect more people than yourself.
Oh no, absolutely. I know exactly what you mean. Yep, no, but you have big picture thinking, people. It's not about me, me, me. The world does not revolve around you. Trust me, you're not that special. I'm not that special either. Okay. And no, oh yeah, and that's why when they call for some policies, and especially the hate speech policies, and
Oh my
not just
gosh, yeah.
attacking it's not just attacking the left. There's those on the right that they're slickly behind closed doors supporting this crap too. What is a presidential candidate that I'm definitely not voting for? excuse me, Nikki Haley. Yeah, once you said anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, okay, you're crazy. You're pro cancel culture, even though you're not saying it. That's a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
culture statement, and that turns me off as well. The freedom of speech is very important to me, and trust me, it may sound like a right wing thing to you if you're an idiot. Thank God there's those on the left that supports freedom of speech. I'm pro 1A. It should be politicized. And I'll say I'm mostly 2A as well.
I
Except for
mean, yeah. Oh,
probably except for crazy cities like New York. Yeah, they could lose to 2A. There's too many nut jobs over there. So I think the 2A restrictions are good over there. And I'm moving
yeah.
out anyway, so I can get my gun and all of that. So yeah, no, I can understand why 2A restrictions are in New York City. There's too many crazy people over there. I'm just being honest. They have a great mental health problem. They should have zero access to guns. But criminals, they find ways around it.
See, that's the thing is like if you could get rid of every gun in the world and every machine that makes a gun, or even the knowledge to make a weapon, and everybody would just be, "Oh, hey, yay, I love you." Then okay, maybe I could see it working, but it's not plausible. And then if somebody doesn't have a gun, like you said, the criminals they will get a gun, and if they can't, they're gonna find another way to do it. They're gonna they're gonna use a machete, they're gonna use a bomb, a car, whatever, arson.
And
But
don't get me wrong, you sick cancer culture warriors. Neither of us are supporting criminals, if you want to think that. We're just telling you what's going to happen. Sadly, the criminal mind is very creative and very resourceful. And that's
yes,
something that some of you policymakers either choose to ignore or you really don't get through your idiotic skulls. Okay? Yeah. If they don't give a shit about the law in the first place, they're gonna find ways to dodge it. Okay? They're gonna find ways to dodge it, lap dance, hop around it, jump around it, go laps around it. They're experts, some of them experts.
yeah.
So, I know what your intent is, but it's not going to work.
Well, that's the thing is like a lot of their intent or a lot of their ideas, they're great, like or it's a nice idea, but when you put it in practice, it just doesn't work and it won't work. You know what I mean? So you have to think about that. Is like, is this going to actually work? No, it's not. Okay, that's the fantasy land that you were talking about. It's like restricting guns and making it so nobody has guns is a nice, wonderful, cartoony idea, but it's not feasible. It's not going to work. It's just,
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
impossible.
It's just
It's impossible, really.
yeah, you can't. I don't know.
No, it really is impossible. And to be
Just
quite
because they would not do it because it was illegal doesn't mean the next guy's gonna. You know what I mean? I don't
yeah,
know.
exactly. Yeah, just like I'm gonna just regurgitate. They are gonna find every single weakness, cracks of that law, and just outsmart it. That's what they've been doing for a long, long time. Okay, and especially if they have a poison heart or a really screwed up mind, or even both, to be frank, they're gonna be motivated to do some crazy. That's why mental health should be taken more seriously. And later on in the future, I'm gonna release an episode that I did with a psychotherapist that 30 plus years of experience. So
Oh,
there,
nice. Okay. Yeah.
future episode plug-in right there. That's gonna be in a couple. That's gonna be in a couple of days after this recording is released, and she has some good ideas. I mean, it's holistic. It really is big picture thinking, and I say, you know what? We need more people like you, because yeah, it's a great episode. It's gonna be released. All I gotta do is do my tweaks and edits, and all that good stuff, and then off it goes. It might be released during Martin Luther King's birthday. How symbolic. Amen. Okay, enough me just talking about my future.
No,
And
you're good. You're good.
and, and
Oh, go ahead.
no, and one more thing, listeners. There, right before that, day before that, next episode's coming out is gonna be about AI and sports betting. Very interesting. And I try to push this guest to include political betting. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. But tune in just to find out. There you go. Anything you want to say before? Yeah.
No, no, that's an interesting idea actually. Having a pool on who wins, elections and stuff. No, what I was gonna say was I forgot what I was gonna say. Dang it. Oh, the when you're talking about the therapist, yeah, I, I think asylums need to be brought back. Not in the same way that people think, or maybe even how they were, but there needs to be institutions where people can go voluntarily, or they need to be forced to go there and but receive care, not just put in a straitjacket, get an electroshock therapy, and then sit in a padded room, but they need to come back in some sort of way because I mean, I honestly think a lot of the issues are because they're just they're it's the the crazies running free. They're running the asylum. Essentially.
I mean, a lot of them is running in New York City. Anecdotally, it once I go out, it's easy for me to find five of them without trying.
Really.
Without trying, at least five of them. If I really look hard, you could triple that, quadruple that number. Okay. Yep. And of course, this pitiful poor excuse of a mayor who cares about having his own intro theme song than doing his damn job. Yeah, he and I'm not kidding. I am really not kidding. He has his own intro theme. Like he's a freaking wrestler or super celebrity. I mean,
what is it?
too
Something?
many some cartoonish stuff. It's happening in
What's
reality. Some cartoonish stuff. His name is this is Democrat Eric Adams.
yeah. No, yeah. What's the theme song?
I forgot. I think it was one of Rihanna's theme songs.
Oh,
I was like, oh god. I said, really? Oh
so hey,
yeah.
the whole Texas governor and everybody shipping illegal aliens up to New York and all that kind of stuff. What are your thoughts about that?
To be honest, I had mixed feelings. I was pissed it was happening because
Because that's where you live.
yeah, personally, I was really pissed. But
Yeah.
thinking the big picture, I understand why. Because if all of them was just kept in the southern states, the problem would be ignored, which it was sadly ignored or not taken care of very, very well. So, and that's one of the many reasons. Besides that to me that was just a breaking point. And it's just too expensive for nothing too. It's really expensive for nothing. Before it was worth it being that expensive. I had so many pros, but no, now it's become expensive for nothing. It's more expensive and I call New York City the rotting apple. I've done it multiple times. Yeah, and it continues to rot and decay and they just opened up a Wendy's right at Midtown, and guess what? The lovely people over there, they broke every single ATM and even transaction machines for payments. So yeah, so that Wendy's can make money because it's all electronic.
Oh.
So that Wendy's is gonna be closed down. I would give it 2 months. Two
Oh
months.
wow.
Yeah, they either gotta fix that shit real quick. And me when try to play sword, a lot of people just gonna leave and stuff, and or the cashier's got to work 3 times as hard because that Wendy's is gonna close because they have a bunch of people that need that kind of help, that asylum to restore them instead of just locking them, putting them in a straight jacket and just keep injecting them and medicating them for the rest of their lives, which is not productive. It's actually quite costly to U.S. tax.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
I remember when it first happened, I was like, oh man, that's kind of, I felt bad for the individuals being shipped around a little. And I was like, that's kind of messed up because then you got people in New York that have, you know what I mean? But I didn't really, but once like Eric Adams and them were like, yo, it's just, it definitely proved the point that I think the governor was trying to make, that they do have a problem down south, and either people in other states shouldn't have a voice in how the South deals with it, or they should help deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't know. I think it definitely opened up some people's eyes that were, oh yeah, we love immigrants and this and that, and bring them here. But then when oh crap, this ain't working. Hold on, you know what I mean? Again, this kind of the
it's
love
really
your neighbor and be friendly is great, but you can't. You got to take care of yourself first before you can take care of anybody else.
no, exactly. I've been saying it for America for long. We gotta stop butting into so many of these conflicts, or just pay attention to outside. We gotta look at within. There's a lot of
Yeah,
domestically and America, and yeah, this is really testing the limits of sanctuary city or even state status because California is a sanctuary state. That entire state is sanctuary.
yeah, yeah,
New York, not the entire state, but just New York City in particular. That's a sanctuary city. Outside of that, it's fair game. Go to Westchester County. Syracuse is very Republican, so they'll throw their asses out. Unless,
Hmm.
yeah, there's parts of New York that are very, very conservative, and Orange County is pretty conservative. Oh, he hates Eric Adams, and and can't even stand the governor. Oh yeah, he threw out the migrants. He was not having it.
I mean, it's like
Hey,
respect, but at the same time, it's like, man, you know, I
it's like,
mean,
no, no,
maybe
no, 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 no.
not even going there.
That's your problem, New York City. You're the sanctuary. You have the sanctuary status, not my county.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah, it's an asshole move, but the law is a law. It's unfortunate people being played like ping pongs. I get it. It's wrong.
yeah, people
This
being
is the
used. Yeah,
reason why we need to fix the immigration system. I mean, I wanted pretty strict, but I also want people to come in. We need to find that balance. Get the good migrants in who wants to do good for America, and get rid of the ones that just want to terrorize and just become leeches of the system.
exactly, exactly. If you got a water leak in your house and you got water leaking, what's the first thing you just keep trying to patch up the water, stop the water from coming in? No, you got to turn the water off to your house first. Got to turn that off, then you fix the leak. You can't fix the leak until you turn the water off. So you got to stop it. Get it figured out. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like, yeah, we have so much homeless and so much other crap going on. If we got money just building up and everybody's happy, everybody's fed, then it's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, let's bring some people. Let's help out. Let's there's a reason on an airplane that you put the oxygen mask on yourself before your children. You got to help yourself first because you can't do nothing to your children if you're passed out or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There is a reason for things,
Oh
That
no,
didn't
yeah,
sound good, but
no, no, exactly. Yeah, no, you have to take care of yourself, and of course, ideally speaking, do it as quick as possible, especially if it's an emergency situation. But if it's some back away, yeah, just take like shedding excessive weight, or you're taking care of your mental health. That takes time. There's no magic.
hmm
Those things. No, yeah, you take your time. When it comes to something that's life or death, yeah, better figure that out quickly. What's going to happen. And it's yeah, it's going to become a tragedy. That's what I'm going to say about that. All right, let me do the reminder, which I love to do. Let's just hope you are enjoying this pretty casual. I did mislead talking about political light. Yeah, it got a bit heavy. Oh well, this is politically high tech after all. The first was politically. So if this was an April Fool's joke, this is a very bad one. Very,
yeah,
to be honest. So
I tried using AI once. There we go.
um,
I spent
I,
I
I like
spent one
AI, but
day trying to make something, and it just was like, okay, that's enough. I'm done.
no, I'm just gonna touch on that real quick before I wrap this up. With regard to AI, I like AI. It's something that we need to maintain vigilance and be
Yeah.
proactive with regulation, but our Congress is too damn dysfunctional right now, and they're gonna take freaking 5 years before they come something meaningful. This is one of the few things I gotta praise the European Union. They're trying to tackle AI regulations, which is good. This country's going to take about five years on that. Yes, and I do say it because we take forever
hmm
on just about everything that's very urgent and important. We take forever, but when it comes to stupid shit like allowing more milks in school, yeah, that Congress is quick on.
yeah, no kidding, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like,
that bipartisanship was quick. I was like, well, great, great.
I mean,
I don't give a shit about milk. Fix the border. Fix, cut a little bit of military spending or shit. And okay,
quit giving it to Ukraine.
yeah. Oh God, come on. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm about to get worked up. Let me distract myself right now. Let's do the very capitalistic part of this podcast. The plug-in.
All right, all right.
Plug in.
Oh,
So, like I said, he's a host of The Objective Jerk. And you're gonna see a cartoon, and he stole my color. No, I'm kidding. He didn't steal my color. It is purple, coincidentally, and it has a cartoon picture of his face with squares and looks
it's
like
actually like a T, O, and a J. The objective jerk. That's what that's supposed to be in the logo.
oh well, I stand corrected.
Oh, you're good. You're good. And just to clarify, I use AI on my podcast for my description of my podcast. Like when I submit it, I upload it, AI takes it and like gives me title. Here, you could use this as a title or this. And so, I do use it. So
Hey, so you cannot ban him for not labeling AI. Okay, this is proof right. And I would say, and I'm gonna have to put that in the description. He did disclose AI use, so just in case they come with some stupid rule and say you gotta disclose it. Hey, be ahead of the curve right here, you know. So, and I think I'm pretty sure YouTube's gonna implement that. It's not an if question; it's a when they're gonna do it
yeah.
because YouTube loves to be strict. Okay, and and he has his he says lazy production. I'll just call it free flow.
Yeah.
Loves Jesus and drinks coffee. Come on, he's pretty relatable. Maybe except for you atheists, I love tea.
Yeah.
Well, you probably can relate, but I don't think y'all gonna be listening anyways. And he is an army veteran, and I forget to say thank you for your service.
No, thank you.
So I gotta be more mindful of that to be honest.
Yeah, it's all
But
right.
really
I think
check out,
most
yeah,
oh sorry.
no, but yeah, no, people need to bring, we gotta be appreciative of people doing that. Shoot me. I don't even think I already got the courage just to fight and defend my home. Yeah, it doesn't go beyond that. Oh yeah, and friends, but that's it. That's the most I'm giving myself. Definitely lower rank of bravery than the army for sure. Yeah, he's in so many social media platforms. And his podcast is on he has his Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, which I got my issues with.
Yeah.
YouTube.
I yeah,
I
sorry.
get my issues with like a love hate relationship. No, go ahead.
No, I'm you trying to do the plug that I keep interrupting you, sorry.
Yeah, this is your product. Feel free. I could get something wrong.
I mean, I got on TikTok, but it for some reason like all of a sudden like just views weren't happening and stuff, and I don't know. I'll say this. I'll say this. The thing I liked about TikTok was during the Maui fires, that was like the only way to get information was people that were there recording and posting stuff that was going on. You know what I mean? That was like the only thing I saw about it. And it wasn't like people talking about it. It was there. They were there recording. And you know what I mean?
Okay, it was happening live right there in real time, kind of thing. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I
I
mean, I think that was kind of nice.
Yeah, no, I sadly, and this is me being a hypocrite, even though I've bashed TikTok hundreds of times in this podcast. The listeners know it. But I do see certain value with TikTok. I mean, if you could, I mean, I think your content is a bit they're gonna see too conservative. And that's
Yeah.
one thing they go by political affiliations. But if you have a particular political orientation, left, very left. Not even moderate left, very left. You'll be all right. But if you can somehow create such a great 1 minute short that grabs so many eyeballs, I mean, some young people are killing it. They have become millionaires. Some of them.
Oh, yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter, it does give opportunity. I gotta give it that. It does give opportunity. That's the thing I praise, even more than YouTube and the rest of them. Y'all gotta step up your monetary system. Just saying. Just
You know,
saying.
there's a lot of accounts that are like really faith based on Twitter or on TikTok as well. You know what I mean? So I mean, I think there like you said, there is a lot of value to it. There is some value to it, but I think the stuff that really gets noticed and pushed out there is this, the dancing and some of the dumb stuff that is, on there and what's making the most money. But there are some, some decent things on there. I'll say that. And
Yeah.
then I kind of feel like
Mhm.
that it seems like, they were talking about, I don't know, is TikTok is still available in the States, right? I mean, I
Oh
assume it
yeah,
is because you were saying.
definitely. Yeah.
I know they're kind of talking about banning it or something. But I kind of feel like the reason they wanted to ban it was just because the U.S. government had no control over it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because you could get on like Instagram, right? I saw this. It's probably on TikTok. I don't know, but anyway, and then I did it myself. Is you'd get on Instagram and you would. This was during like some crazy riots in Paris, like a year ago or something like that, and you would get on Instagram and you just put in like Paris, right? In the search, and it would just bring up like people eating croissants and hanging out at the Eiffel Tower and whatever. And then you put it in on TikTok and you see the war going on with protesters and just the craziness that's going on. So it's like you just kind of, to me, it just, you kind of feel, because Instagram is a part of Facebook and everything, there's they're kind of mitigating some of the things and controlling some of the information that gets put out there, and they can't do that with TikTok. So that's it. That's all I want to say.
That's a very good point. I try not to see that. You really know how biased I am with that. I try not to see that, but I do see. But I do see it. I act like I don't. So yeah, a lot of it's controllers, like you said, and
Yeah.
and sometimes they use this guys very carefully. National security. I mean me. I sadly have to go the national security thing because that data does go to China, and China's have the best reputation when it comes to when it comes to humans and data and privacy, that they're gonna exploit it. They'll probably steal some IPs and all of that. So that's the only reason why I would agree with it. Normally, I would not want to agree with it. I'm normally just okay if it does well in America. Why the hell not? That's my only concern. If America would have bought the damn thing and sadly would have controlled it, I would have definitely felt more safe. But thank God I don't declare myself a libertarian. That's one of the few reasons why I don't, because there's certain things I'm not gonna let it be, in my opinion. But that's all I'm gonna add on to that. Eventually, I might be on TikTok, so I might break my promise one day. As a matter of
Or
yeah,
your vow.
yeah, one of my vows. I mean, I already broke some of that. Well, I banned some of our celebrities. That was broken. I think the only one I've kept pretty well is keeping this away from minors. That's gonna be broken somehow. Hackers. Some of these young hackers are very smart. Oh well, it's not gonna right there. You fail as a parent. That's my excuse. The end.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all I'm gonna say about that. All right, enough yammering. Let me just make sure I plug in your stuff right. And check his stuff out. It's a laid back. It's a laid back. He's just speaking his opinions right off the cuff, and it's not. He's not just political. It's just about cultural, social issues as well. He just cares enough not to care at all. Whatever that means, I ain't gonna get it, but your loyal listener will get it.
I
So
don't I don't I don't know what it means. So I thought it sounded.
exposed, both exposed. Nah, I'm sure he knows what it means. He should play shy with that statement. All right. Anything else you want to add?
I don't know. I like the free flowing, just wherever it goes kind of thing. So how's that saying go? I know a little bit about a lot of things. You know what I mean? So I'm
You're
not an expert in any one thing, really. Yeah,
jack of all trades, kind of master of none.
yeah. But I don't know everything about. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I have a little experience and a little bit, But I think that's because of my ADD or something. I don't know.
I try to debunk the ADHD thing. I might be called far right from that. I said, listen, some people are just creative, or you just make sure you're all around it. It could be a blessing. I'm gonna just replace that word with a blessing, because some people are just very good at that one thing. Because the two things are done. I mean, I'm more of a specialized person. I mean, yeah, I know a decent amount of things about science, but my main thing is history, politics, and policy. That's my main thing. I'm decent in math. Yeah, decent literature. But what I suck is in relationships, and don't talk to me about sports.
Oh, okay.
I
I
mean,
know a little bit about
unless I want to
sports.
whack, unless I want to whack somebody, that's different.
Yeah, I suck at math.
I
I've
am,
always been bad at math.
and I'm decent. I'm decent in math, especially when it comes to money and all of that. And that's my motivator. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Money is a great motivator. So let's wrap this up and check out his podcast. The link is going to be in the description below. And let me do the cheesy YouTube/Rumble call to
Go for
action.
it. Go for it.
Like, comment, subscribe, or follow. The reason why I gotta say, because follow is a Rumble terminology, subscribe is a YouTube.
Hmm.
Okay. Share this with someone who's gonna really just enjoy a casual political conversation. Don't be too intimidated. It has enough layman terms for you to grasp this, okay? So no need to feel like you're Einstein or you're the cream of the crop of Oxford University. No degrees needed. You just need a working brain and
There you
sense.
go.
So, from whenever you're listening to this podcast, yes, because I have listeners around the world, you have a blessed day, afternoon, or night.